get away with it. People will have to do lip reading for the first bit. Okay, I'll tell Shane. I'll say now ? And if he's watching though, he's gonna have all the spoilers. Oh yeah, he said yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Reintroduction, because before it was all us like mimicking.
So yeah, welcome to the Weaves Humblewood side campaign where we play as animals. I'm your DM for this one, and Lucas is a player. We got James Older. Shane, you know who he is. You're in the audience, and let's get to it. So we start early afternoon in. Oh, you want a link holder? Oh, you're asking Shane. That's fine. We start early afternoon in the small town of Ashborough. Now, Ashborough is a little bit of history of the world. A while ago in the Humblewoods, there was a fire which spread and burnt down a large chunk of the woods in an area which is now known as the Scorched Grove. It's the fires kind of start up again every so often, but there's a group of people that you would both know of called the Tenders who kind of manage the forest fires, make sure that they don't get out of control. However, recently in the world, farming's been a bit bad. The heat's been sort of rising, and bandits have been on the rise. So things are a bit tense in the world of Humblewood. However, we start in the town of Ashborough, which is a small town built into the side of a hill, well, kind of up to the top of a hill, in a land quite close to the Scorched Grove. The ash of the grove actually somehow makes the soil quite fertile, so there's good farming land there. And you, James, are a resident, and, well, Phil, I should say, are a resident, and Diego, you are a traveler passing through. So we start in the Smoking Barrel Tavern. A stone tavern, as a lot of the buildings are stone-based with wooden upper structures, just to try and ward off any light fires that might move across the ground. Obviously not great against the blaze, but that Ashborough has. And sitting in the tavern is Diego. Oh, I should put some music on myself. That's why it feels kind of weird. Diego, you are sitting in the tavern, having just entered, with a small hedge, which is a little hedgehog humanoid creature by the name of Podge. If you want to describe yourself, Diego, just so we can get an idea.
Yes. So Diego is a Volpin, a fox-like creature. Has with it the fur color that you expect, kind of like reddish bronze, with highlights, let's call it, that you couldn't tell whether they're natural or he's just vein and highlights the tips of his fur. He's wearing a leather armor, and has quite a few things like poking out. It is the kind of person that is obvious. You can obviously tell that he's a traveler just because of the amount of stuff that kind of like pokes out, in all directions. He has what appears to be a big lute, I guess. Also a really long flute poking out in the opposite direction, and there is a horn, like a drinking horn, but you would imagine it's more for blowing horn. So it's a blowing horn, hanging off his belt to one side, and also on the other end there is like a leather strap holding a big drum. He looks like a one-man orchestra on top of a backpack and a big traveling cloak that you can imagine has seen better days. It's quite battered, and because of the texture, here's a question for the DM. Would the humble folk use furs from other animals as clothing? Because this feels weird.
Yeah, so in the Humblewood you have animals in the same way that you do in the real world. Regular animals do exist.
Okay.
They're not like birds that are turned into people. They happen to look like birds. They happen to look like
Okay,
foxes.
okay, but
But
okay,
you you
there is a
still have
yeah.
yeah, you would still have foxes in the same as well as Vulpin.
Okay, so there would so some kind of like fur clothing and clothes that it's obviously for much more cold climates. So this person, is either overdressed for this area, or obviously has come a long way from somewhere else, and is a bit eccentric. The clothing in general, and obviously a long snout and a big welcoming fox smile.
That smile being directed at you, Phil, as Hodge, seeing you walk in through the tavern door, the musty smell of ale kind of hitting your nostrils as your eyes adjust to the dim lights, the windows kind of shuttered and secure, as various other patrons around the bar are eating their midday stews. Hodge sees you and giving you a welcoming smile as well. Oh, Hodge. No, that's his name. Phil! Phil, you've got to come over here. You've got to meet this guy. He's got so many stories. Look, I got you a drink in already. Sit down, sit down. If you would like to describe yourself, Phil.
I've walked in. I've got my mail armor on. Looking a bit rusty and a bit worse for wear. Clearly, don't take as much care of it as I probably should. He's got his shield and sword on his back, ready to go at all times. He's also a pigeon. Probably should mention. Who is of a sort of a grey bluey colour. He's quite well pruned, but I think if you stared at him, you'd think that's a good-looking pigeon, but you probably wouldn't notice if you weren't really paying attention.
Okay.
There's like a still, yeah, it's not going to take your breath away. You ain't going to confuse him for a dove. But yeah, so he's got like quite handsome features, and he's ready to rock and roll. No helmet on.
No helmet on. Okay, I'll remember that. The enemies will only do headshots. Hodge sort of kicks the chair out with his foot towards you, Phil. Come on, sit down, sit down. Look, you've got to tell us. Start again. How was it exactly that you got away from those mountain lions?
Oh, Hodge, I told you the story like 3 times already. Why don't you give me something to drink?
Oh, yes. You two stay there. I can go to the bar now. Phil, you want your usual?
Always.
Oh, pint of Meadowbank ale it is then. And Hodge kind of stands up, and his back is large with spikes, so he can't really sit properly on the chair. He's kind of perched on the edge.
Wait, does he get stuck to the chair?
Well, he has to kind of awkwardly wiggle his way free, and then shakes his quills. Okay. I know you're new in town, Diego, but you want the local, the meadow pint?
Oh, please surprise me, Hodge.
Oh, it's got a little kick to it. And he goes up to the bar, leaving the two of you strangers in the same inn, sitting together at a table.
Well, but you are a fine-looking pigeon. I could not quite tell. I mean, at first I thought you were a dove.
Well, that isn't the first man to ever tell you that to me. And I appreciate that. So, what brings you to this town?
I'm going back home. There and back again. You always travel and see things and learn and experience new things, but home is where the heart is, and the heart sometimes pulls you back. So what are you from here, from the Asparrow?
I'm from this local area, and but I keep thinking about it's soon time for my pilgrimage and time for me to get out on the world and.
Oh, pilgrimage! Are you
people.
a peregrine pigeon? Like, is that a thing you do?
With some of us, it's I like to wait for fate to push me in that direction, but I'm starting to feel that way.
Oh, so
I'm
it's
seeing enough this town.
Oh, very well. Sorry for assuming. I didn't know you were a man of the cloth. What's your faith?
You can attempt to pronounce it because I'm not gonna.
Is this written on my character sheet somewhere, or do I need to find it somewhere?
I sent it you on WhatsApp. I can tell you. It's in the Discord. It's Cluren. Cluren.
Cluren. Yeah. I follow Cluren, and again, I feel like the Wheels of Fate is something we all follow it in a way, don't you think?
Um, yes, we do, of course. Faith is something to cling on when the mysteries of the world tug at the borders of our fears, right?
Yeah, for me, it just allows me to drink what I want, sleep with who I want, and go where I want,
I guess
and
that
know
works
that it's
too.
life's way.
That's a good faith to follow. By the way, sorry, Hodge was in a hurry. My name is Diego Alejandro de la Cruz Vanegas.
I will call you D because I'm not going to try and pronounce that. And my name is Phil Swan. And they say my family earned that name because, well, once my great great grandfather slept with a swan.
Okay, I mean that's a good story.
Who can say if it's true? But it's definitely one we share around the table on a Sunday.
Oh, this is the kind of family talk you have?
Yeah, who the great granddad fucked? I take us. Have I got a drink yet?
Oh,
At this point, Hodge waddles back, carrying 3 wooden tankards. He sets them on the table. Oh, seems you two are getting along like a house on fire.
yeah.
Here, Diego, drink this. You see the ash flakes on the top?
I can smell them.
Yeah, it's good for vigor. As you know, Phil, he slides you on.
I'm gonna imagine mine's in a saucer because I've got a beak.
Yeah, for the bird folk of the Humblewoods, yeah, yours is served in like a slightly different, almost like a bowl, almost like a pasta dish, like bowl, like kind
Yeah.
of flat with a high edge. I should just say, Luma, you would say, not pigeon, because a pigeon would be a pigeon, but your race is Luma. But it's basically a pigeon. It looks like a pigeon.
Looks like a beak.
Okay.
So, yeah. You got any more stories for us about your travels?
Well, before we talk about that,
Did you ever kill anything?
well, look, I'm more interested in learning about this area. Now, you said you're a local, Phil. I heard so much about like the kind of thing that you can still find in the Scorched Grove. I mean, you know about this, no? Right? You go there, and I don't know if your faith takes you there, or if you go on adventures. But I was just curious. What is there to find?
This feels very specific. Where have you heard about this Scorched Grove? This is maybe the first time I've heard of it, depending on your answer.
Oh, it is the place that was burned, and the big, like, desolate, like, razed to the ground forests.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I suppose I would travel. I might have been there and had a look around myself. I can't say I particularly found anything.
Oh, that's disappointing. I was hoping to find some local that could tell me and show me. I'm eager to experience things myself so I can put them into stories, of course.
You know that it's dangerous up there, up in the Scorched Grove. The tenders go in sometimes, and sometimes they don't come back out. So, you want to watch yourself there, Diego. It's not something to be trifled with.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm hoping I can maybe get some help with some local expert. If this is the kind of thing that wouldn't interrupt your upcoming pilgrimage, of course.
I assume these stories you tell, you have a charge for this. This is some sort of business opportunity for you. No?
Oh, there is no business to be done when art is in the line. I am a traveler and a spreader of stories. Money, business, Fame, maybe. It's not things that I am after.
Well, let's put your faith in the arts where your mouth is, and 20% of the profits from this story when you start telling it. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a story to tell, and then I can bodyguard you and show you what I found.
Hey, I'm here too. Cut me in on the deal.
Wait, Hodge, are you coming too?
Besides, Phil, you're supposed to help me go fishing, and Dad's been on my case about that. We gotta go get some trout in.
And that's just it. Oh, okay. If you bring a casket, a cask with
What's
you,
gonna happen to me?
you know the container for dead liquid, not the other container. If you bring one of them with you, I'm sure you can come, and we can fish along the way.
Okay. 20% of all the tips I get whenever I tell the story and you are around, so I can give you the tips. Is that a good arrangement?
Well, I'm sure we can figure out a way of me keeping track of the stories you tell. I have
Well, like
ears everywhere.
royalties?
Yeah, always. Told you I've got an expensive holy trip to go on soon, and
Do you have a
they
post?
don't fucking pay for you. These gap years are expensive.
Maybe I can post monthly checks to your PO box. I don't know.
I love it. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Very well.
Hodge stands up. Okay, I'll see what I can grab from the bar, and I'll load up the wagon. I got it out front with the rods ready. I was waiting for you. So, Diego, do you fancy yourself a bit of a fisher? I know, obviously you've fought some,
Fish.
beasts in the wild. So
Sure, I remember. Yes, of course. I that reminds me of a story, but it's not the time. Maybe.
No, please, Hodge. Gets back into his chair.
Well, it is one of those
How big was the fish?
It was pretty big. I mean, I was riding it. It was down the rapids from the mountains where the giants live. But you know what? Let's not. It is a bit out there. One of the, people don't usually believe them, so I'd rather not go into that.
Did you ride it away from those mountain lions?
Yes, I mean, I had to. I was a prisoner of the giants for 2 months.
Whoa.
So that's I rode a fish down the river. Yes.
Well, sure, guys, come with us to the Scorched Grove. Hey, Phil. And he gives you a little nudge, clearly very kind of excited by the thought of such adventure.
Slightly put off by the excitement, I sort of nod at you, as little interaction as possible.
Right. Well, meet us outside by the cart when you're ready. I'll grab a car scoop. Finish up here. Phil, you hardly touched your sore, sir.
I'm gonna finish my drink. So I'll happily leave you waiting for 10 minutes outside while I finish the drink. I'm not gonna rush it.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
fine.
what,
You see,
what armor are you wearing? Like, do you?
I've lost you.
Oh,
Sorry, I lost you for a second there. Go on.
what armor are you wearing, or like weapons? What armaments? What do?
So I got a sword and shield on me visibly as I walked in on the tavern, and some I think it's chainmail that is.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it could do the job, but it's not cared for the same way a samurai would care for their armor.
Yeah. Okay. I walk out with Hodge then, and I kind of like lean in and tell him, he looks like some kind of is he some kind of mercenary or soldier? But he said that he follows this faith pilgrimage.
oh, yeah, Clurin, that sable god, isn't it? Two birds. One of them got the axe. One of them got the little wand.
Yes. So
Make a religion check.
he's the axe guy. Okay. Oops. Oh my god, I'm gonna need glasses here. Yeah, that's a 21.
Okay, yeah, you've heard of Clurin from your various travels. The sable, it's typically a sable patron because of its sort of chaotic nature, often depicted as dual states.
Mm-hmm.
to represent its more fickle nature amongst the pantheon.
Okay.
It's usually one sable with an executioner's hood and an axe in its mouth, and the other with like jester's clothes and a like a baton in its mouth with bells and ribbons.
The book and the
Um,
sword.
yeah, and
Right.
it's followers of Cluran are usually kind of guided by the ideas of fate. They like to kind of go with the flow, as it were,
Okay. Okay.
and think of the world as kind of a tapestry that's being woven around them rather than like something that they kind of control and embody. They like to kind of feel their way through the world.
Okay.
So it's one of the more kind of chaotic, free
Yeah.
thinking
Free form.
of the
Yeah.
pantheon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go outside with Hodge while Phil is finishing the drink and just sit back in the cart. If we're wait, we're not.
He's just got a little. It's like a little hand cart filled with.
Yeah.
He's put a cask in there, and there's some fishing rods and bait and tackle.
Yeah.
And
I'll just unload my instruments here if you don't mind, Hodge, and I'll just put.
sure, yeah. There's a little bit of room in there.
Yeah.
I don't. He's not a mercenary, Phil, though. I mean,
I mean,
he goes to the chapel, and I think he's training to be one of them holy warriors. Well, I mean,
holy warriors, but I mean, he is obviously armed, looks capable, and he asked for money immediately to help me. So that's why. I mean, I'm not trying to jump to conclusions here.
no, he's been saving up for years now. I know he keeps saying he's got to get out. Like, his family just run one of the farmsteads up the road, and they said that he was blessed, so he got sent to this school. But I don't know. He seems a bit. Every time I talk to him about it, he just seems a bit, you know. Oh, it's not for me. They're too rigid.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have the stories I have if I didn't put myself into interesting situations. So, this looks to be just the kind. And I'll jump into the cart and just wait there.
Yeah, Phil, back in the tavern as you're finishing your saucer of ale. You know, letting them know that they're on your time.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to do?
I at least have one more drink while I'm in there, and if you're not there, I like hop behind the bar and just grab it myself. And the locals seemingly are okay with this. So I've been there enough. It's normal behaviour.
Yeah, you see at the bar there's like an elderly Corvan. They're like the sort of crow like people dressed in fine blue robes, and next to him a small Strig, the owl like person who you've spotted around Ashborough a few times. Ashborough, sorry. And some other patrons, a few old galluses, having a drink in the corner. And yeah, you just sort of help yourself to a drink behind the bar. You know, a few patrons that know you give you a wave. It's a relatively small town, so. But eventually, you make your way out where Hodges, finally loaded up the thing, and you see him and Diego kind of having a chat. Oh, we're gonna lose the good light, Phil. I was thinking if we're gonna go to the Scorched Grove, there's Wrexham Pond up north a wee bit, and they say that it's not been great for fish. But I suppose if we can just get one or two, that'll be off my case. So,
You seem weirdly prepared for. I just came into the bar for a drink. Why is this wagon all ready to go? Like just sitting there. I feel a bit set up. Like this is gonna happen either way. I know I promised a fishing trip, but fucking hell, mate. Like there's a commitment and there's a commitment.
You've just seemed a little bit, I don't know, disheartened maybe lately. All your talks about leaving. I thought maybe if we could go up and have a nice trip, you might want to stay around with old Hodge a bit longer. You know, I can't leave the family and go out walking around to who knows where. You know, those elder heart people that'll eat me alive. So I thought maybe you might want to stick around if we had a nice.
I've got other
like
call-ins.
we used to.
Other call-ins, but we come on, let's go on this fishing trip. I
Right.
sort of brush past you, hop onto the wagon confidently.
Hodge lifts it up and starts. One thing to note, actually, that you would have noticed now he's up off his chair and walking around, is
big.
that Phil is small.
Oh,
So we can't even see him when he's like pulling the cart. It's like a ball there.
Where you're like I don't know, 5 foot maybe ish, Lucas, maybe a bit taller, a bit shorter.
Okay. Yeah.
I think as a Vulpan, it's something around there. Phil is, 3 foot maybe tall, standing there in his armor. Well,
Yeah.
jumped into the back of the wagon, and Hodge heaves it up and just starts like walking. All right, I'll take it northward. And just starts pushing it up the path towards the stone walls that surround Ashborough. You notice as you're going a bit deeper into the town, as your wagon kind of pulled up and you got off and went into the tavern, which is near the entrance for visitors coming in. Like I say, a lot of the bases of the building are kind of made of stone with then wooden tops. And standing in the middle is a large tower with guards posted at the top of it with like a bell high up in it that are just kind of surveying. People going about their business. It's an agricultural town, so people are out working the farms and stuff. But there's like a small market area where people are just buying some produce goods. There's nothing like blacksmiths or anything like that because there's no real need for it here. There's a blacksmith that might repair work tools that are broken, but no one's like selling weapons and armor and stuff.
I will pull my as we are carting away from the town. I'll pull my oversized lute, which is a Spanish guitar, and I will just go like with a quick very fast strums like with a hedge named Podge and the Luma named Phil. We went out of town to a nearby creek. Our journey started thus with a fishing trip.
Oh, that's mighty good. That is you. I mean,
Yeah.
you've.
I
see
can
why-
work with it, but it is a good start, no, Phil?
It's fine. People pay. This will. People pay for this. I'm not one for the arts. I just like to profit from them. But yeah, why? Fine. I start to peck at the and sort of fumble with the cart, the mead to try and get it open.
Yeah, make a make a dexterity check as you try and like use your beak to knock the lid off this cask. As you finish your song, Diego, you see some of the market sellers kind of like peek up. A few people buying their produce turn around and they're like, "Ah, okay, yeah, bit weird, but I like that." And some guys like, "Yeah,
Tell your neighbors,
And a good day to you as well.
De La Cruz Vanegas is back. Trun, trun, trun.
I've never been on a cruise myself.
he says." 14.
14.
Yeah, you give it a few solid pecks, and then the cask lid kind of turns in on itself, flips up, and you can access the ale inside.
Wait, what are you rolling? I didn't see the roll in roll 20.
I'll just see if I can open. Sorry, I rolled in the Zoom chat.
Oh, okay.
You type the
Yeah,
result.
no, I did. Yeah, so that was just to open the booze.
Hands
And it-
free.
We're in a drink break talking about booze. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. He's just pecking away. Hodge,
Yeah. What's on your mind?
so this fishing trip, I heard what you said before. Why? I mean, are you worried that Phil is gonna go away and leave you behind? Is this some kind of thing you do to spend time with him?
I mean, sure. My dad used to take me fishing when I was a boy, and I liked it. I'm quite good at it, I must say. And I thought maybe if I could get Phil into a little bit, the country life, maybe he wouldn't have such wanderlust in his heart.
He's kind of like talking to you. You're seeing Phil picking open things, just
Yeah.
kind of talking to you a bit in the hushed voice
Yeah.
as you walk closer to the handles.
Yeah, leaning over the cart. Oh, I see. But Wanderlust is good. If it wasn't for it, I would never have the stories I have.
Oh, I suppose, but you look so strong and strapping. I mean, look at all those instruments you carry. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I could fix them to me spikes, but I don't think that I'd be able to swim down the river with fishes away from giants. I mean, you put me anywhere without food for a couple of hours, and I go balmy.
Well, that's actually a good skill to have. If are you a good hunter, gatherer, apart from fisher hedge?
No, not really. I caught a rabbit once, but apparently it had mixum of whatsits, so couldn't see nothing.
How are you good? Are you good at fishing, Phil?
I'm the best. Like they fishing competitions. Sit there, set up a rod, and just drink, and then the fates are kind. I catch a big fish. I somehow get the fucking credit for it, and then I drink some more. Yeah, if there is a skill to fishing, I seem to have it.
Okay, good. You seem to put quite a bit of weight on the fate. It's a. Don't you think you are the master of your own destiny?
This talk won't sit well with me. I would watch that. Don't. Nothing's on me. It's all on the face.
That's certainly an interesting outlook.
I'm slightly bothered by this chat, and I drink more.
Okay, I'll kind of like notice the locking himself down, Phil, and just look forward to the horizon while I keep playing.
You hear Podge just kind of a visual.
There's been a lot more of that lately. I'm starting to get a bit worried about him, actually.
Can I roll to see if I heard that?
Yeah, roll perception against. Let's give Hodge just a stealth roll as he tries to say this quietly.
6.
Okay, I've lost my. There it is. Let's give him. He'll have +0. 7. you know he's talking, but you can't quite make out the words.
My passive perception is 11, so I can.
I mean, he's talking because he's talking to you.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's talking. The head speaks.
You, Phil, you're a bit distracted by, one of the what they called a hawker on a market stand starts like shouting out some stuff. I've already got a couple of the steaks left to go today, and as he's shouting out that, you're like, just try to listen, but you just miss.
Okay.
Exactly what it is that Hodges is saying.
I've had my feel. I'm leaning, leaning on the barrel now, sort of next to it.
Give us a Constitution saving.
How much have you drunk? I was about to ask. Does it look like he has drunk non-stop since we left?
Well, he had a drink in the bar, but you didn't know that he nabbed a second one for the road, and now is tucked into the cask.
Yeah, directly into the cask. Yeah. Okay.
Is that just hitting the Constitution button, doing a saving throw, or is it a different one?
There's a specific saving throw one in the little box just on the left-hand side. It's the first sort of square box down. It says saving throws. It's got all the. It says strength deck. Well, STRDEX. You'll have wisdom and.
Saving throws. Fine.
Yeah,
yes. Which one do you want me to do? Constitution.
So hit Constitution. Yeah, you'll probably have +0 to it because you're a paladin.
12.
12.
At a +2.
Okay, you're starting to get a little bit lightheaded, but as the drink sort of starting to take hold of you, but maybe you had a bit of bread, pecked at some bread for lunch before coming into the bar, and it's just keeping you a little bit steady for now as you shake your plume and gotta get a grip, remain focused. You don't want to come off as someone that can't handle their drink. So you manage to steer yourself a little.
Okay. Can I?
You go.
Sorry. Do you want? Am I putting any minuses on anything yet, or
No, not yet.
Holding it
No.
together.
When you do fail it, when you get drunk, you're poisoned for rules purposes, which is just disadvantage on ability checks, isn't it, Lucas? And
yeah. I think it's just ability checks.
If you
and
you
attacks,
can
probably.
Yes, and attacks. A little ways out the city, Hodge Hodge pushes through the sort of stone gate, and you get a nod from one of the a raptor, which is like the sort of falcon guards that you know is in the sort of bird folk militia. And you eventually make it to a small sort of lake, as it were, like a mere, which you can see looking at the water, the level that it would normally be at has dropped slightly. The banks are kind of crusted around the top, where you normally there'd be quite wet, and there's a bit of dry soil before it sort of hits to the water level. Hodge sets the cart down, and
Oh, man, it's getting worse than I remember it being up here in the heat.
as he says, you kind of notice the air has definitely got a bit stuffier the further north you went out of the village. Small, like, insects are kind of in the air, and the air feels thick and heavy.
I suppose if there's anything left, though, like you say, Phil, you'll be able to catch it, won't you?
Oh,
Always get
Oh
lucky.
yeah. I hop down and start working. So start picking up the rod and putting on the bait and all that sort of jazz. Some sort of.
is this where you fish? It is full of bugs.
Well, it used to be a bit better than this, but I mean, the weather's been bad. I mean, the harvest's been bad. People are getting a bit, I hear talk down. The other farmers, they're getting a bit concerned. So, whatever we can catch today helps. He says we can string it up and dry it out, and then if the harvest remains bad, at least we got something in the pantry for winter.
These bugs, they're bringing the fish up to the top of the water. It's working out for me, to be honest. I like fish anyway.
Oh, okay. So it's good for the fishing. Okay, very well.
Yeah.
Show me how you operate this rod. It's not something I've done before.
Roll dexterity for how good at sorting out a fishing rod I am.
Roll survival, let's say. Fishing's probably a survival skill.
8.
8. At this point, maybe you are good usually, but from the amount you've drank, your hands are starting to have. You know how ale kind of makes your body go before your brain. You realize as you start to try and do the tackle, you kind of get yourself a bit tangled up. It's just a simple pole rod, so it's not like there's no winch or anything to reel the line in. It's just a classic kind of cast and set. So you're kind of there trying to unwrap and set your bait, and you get your hands kind of a bit muddied. You prick yourself with the hook as you're trying to put the bait on, and Hodge looks at you and he's like, I'll help you with that, Diego. Don't worry. Phil has his own style, and I prefer to do the classics. That's all. You can tell that he's kind of there's concern there, and he's just kind of trying to deflect from it. He's almost in denial. Like, you don't need an insight check to see he's kind of a bit like, oh. So he sets your bait and hands you a line.
Yeah, better to learn the classic mode because before you go into the more experimental for the experts, right?
Yeah, it's good to start with this just to get the small fish. I mean, I'm sure what Phil's doing is good for the big uns, but
yes.
On your first try, you just want to, if you're getting anything in this water, then that's a good day, I'd say.
Very well. Here we go. One step to the back. Hold it up like a lance on those long, endless plain fields where the spearman held their ground. Off we go. It just cast it.
Yeah, I mean, I just throw it in myself, but and Hodge sort of takes a waddle and passes it in. At this point, Phil, you've got your line kind of sorted out and your bait's on. And you want to cast off?
I walk up and down a bit, like contemplating where to best cast off, and then
give us a survival check with disadvantage. So if you right click on the number, you can select disadvantage.
You roll 2 dice. Oh, so it takes the lower one?
Takes
Is that
the
how that
lower
works?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Rolled a 16.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you've fished before because Hodge has taken you several times, and you remember that there was a small patch of sort of aquatic plants that some fish like to hide in. Yeah, especially as it's got a bit hotter. You think maybe they'll be there kind of as the water temperatures
And I
rose.
notice there's like bugs about around that as well, and as I just said,
Yeah,
that draws the
because
fish to there.
they're eating the foliage on the top of the water, so you think the fish might come up. So you spot that and you think, yeah, that worked last time. I'm gonna cast there again.
Okay.
So everyone make a. I'll give you advantage on this because of your knowledge of where to kind of pick a good spot. Everyone make a survival check just to see if you manage to catch a fish as you're kind of sitting there setting your rods and seeing what's going on.
I got a -1 to this because I always have other adventurers do it for me. I just
Actually, you've got disadvantage, Diego. It's your first time fishing.
yeah, sure thing. That's a natural 1 -1.
Okay.
That's a 0.
Yeah, 0.
I got a 20.
Whoa. Okay.
Not a natural 20. It
no,
was 17
that's-
plus 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I shall roll for Hodge as well, who's just a common guy, so he's just on a straight d20, and he also rolled a natural 1.
Oh wow.
Okay.
We're used to this.
You cast your line in, Diego, next to Hodge, who also casts his line in, and after a while, you get ready to pull it up to see if there's anything there, and you start to pull, and your line's stuck.
I got something. One of the big ones. Oh yes, I know how this works. I have to fight the fish now, and I start like pulling.
You start pulling. As you start pulling, Hodge's line starts moving as well. He's like, "Oh, I got lucky as well."
Oh look,
And
maybe it's the same one. Let's pull together.
you start both of you pulling, moving backwards, and as you start to move, you notice that what's happened is your lines have just tangled in the water together because you cast so close to each other. They've kind of got stuck in the sticky bottom of the water because the heat's kind of made the mud at the bottom extra sticky, and you kind of fell into that, and as you pulled out, the lines pulled, causing some tension, and yeah, you just pull up, mud flings everywhere, and your lines are now just almost irreparably tangled together as you.
Oh, it escaped. Oh, so close though.
That's I suppose that's
It escaped.
they say beginner's luck, but
It was a big one, and maybe we pulled too hard. Maybe we need to tire it out first. I heard stories about this.
yeah, there's things you can do. What about you up there, Phil? How are you getting on?
He shouts up, and as he does, you notice that your line's been sort of tacking for a little while.
I can't tell if you've stopped talking or. So yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I think I got something. I'm gonna grab it. So I start pulling at it and pulling away, and yeah, I'll pull up.
Yeah, you
What do I
start
pull up?
pulling, and it's strong. You're pulling, and the line jerks slightly to the right, and your small body is pulled a little bit. You realise that this isn't stuck in the mud. You've got something.
It's moving.
Yeah, it's moving. So make a strength check
Oh wow.
as you attempt to hold on to the line.
Which is
Before I do that, can I use my leap skills to try and jump away and pull it out using my leap?
You can just leap, but you'll still just need to do strength in order to, because
Yeah.
you're trying to pull a fish through water that's moving away from you.
Got a 7. 5 plus a 2.
You got a 7. Okay, you sort of leap in the air, but the fish yanks and you sort of get pulled back down to the ground. You dig your heels in and it's moving away. You've slid towards the riverbank slightly.
oh no, Phil is in trouble. Hodge.
oh, he's got a big one.
Podge starts lumbering over to you, and
I got you, Phil. I got you.
whilst he's running over, Diego, are you doing anything as well?
I'm just gonna desperately go behind Podge, come on Podge, catch him, just waiting.
as they're running towards, make another strength check. As the fish sharply veers to the left this time, and you're forced to kind of try and
12.
pull. 12. Okay, you don't manage to reel it in anymore, but you've steadied your ground, and you've manipulated the line well enough that you know that if you keep doing this, the fish will tire. But you haven't managed to pull it closer to the bank. At this point, Hodge, you feel him grab hold of your waist. I gotcha, yeah, and starts trying to go backwards. Diego, you run up and then realize, wait, if you grab Hodge, you're just gonna go straight into his quills on his
I'm like, yeah, no. So I grab my guitar that is kind of like in the cut. Okay. Drun, drun. And with the strength of 1,000 doves, he pulled the fish before the dawn. And I'll give him inspiration.
Okay, yeah. With the thoughts of fame of this tale being ran up and down the taverns of Alderheart, you feel imbued with the strength to complete your task, and with Hodge giving you the help around your waist, you can roll with advantage, and you have inspiration, which means you can. Is it 1d6
I think.
or a d4?
Wait, no. It's about inspiration. It's D6.
A d6. So you can roll with advantage, and you can add 1d6 to it if you need to. And to roll the dice, the d6, there's a little picture of a dice on the bottom left of D&D Beyond, and you can just.
I got it. Strength advantage. D6 turned on. Wait, I'm sorry, I don't have it.
Wait, no, you roll the strength, and you'd have to roll the d6 separately and just add them together. Yeah,
All right,
you
so I
can't.
got
You can't.
20 or you just on the strength.
Okay,
and then,
yeah.
So 25.
25. Whew, yeah, that's more than enough. Like, Hodge pulling you back, and you're like, yes, with the strength of a sow, you, like, yank the rod up, and this huge carp, like, comes up in the air. You see it almost, the specks of water glistening against the sky as sort of evening's coming, and there's a nice orange hue around, and flops onto the ground next to you, just sort of bouncing up and down. Hodge immediately, boom, like body slams onto this thing, wrestling it.
No. It's
You
just,
gotta get it quick.
it's full of holes now. The car.
I peck at the eye.
Yeah, make a just a attack roll with your unarmed strike. It'll be on actions.
I got it. Which, not the damage though, right? The hit/DC.
Yeah, hit/DC.
Pick on the
Alright, 18, so 14 plus 4.
Yeah, that's it. You know, the adrenaline has shaken any ounce of alcohol that might have been clouding your kind of dexterity out of your mind as you see Hodge, holding this fish, and you instinctively, boom, go down with your beak straight into its eye.
Eat it.
Peck it out. Yeah, you eat it. Fish eye, an avian delicacy.
Yeah, I say this is the Swan special, as I'm sort of loving every moment of my treat.
The fish's body writhing, slowing. Diego, you're witnessing this bizarre sight.
I kind of like slow down the strumming, and I thought we'd had dinner, but the fish was gone.
Eventually, it settles. This mighty, I don't know fishing terminology at all, so let's just say it's a real big un.
It's
You know,
Big trout. Big trout.
big trout.
yeah.
It's a river trout.
Yeah.
It works.
it's large. You know, good catch of the day, definitely. And with that, Podge.
Podge,
See, every time I told you he's that special technique. It works.
you were right. He's such an expert. Maybe the classic you taught me isn't good enough, or maybe we were so in sync that our lines tangled together. Maybe. Do you think maybe I am ready for his technique?
I mean, Phil, if you're willing to teach it, then
I mean, we will. we will have to, because he ate all the fish. We need a new one.
Oh no, he only picked its eye out.
I've only eaten the
And he
eye.
picked its eye out
Okay,
and ate the eyeball.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
The fish is huge. We're talking like
Yeah.
this big.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we can do that later. It seems that we have enough for now to have a nice campfire, and we can cook it. You know.
Oh, wow. I
This
says we were gonna
can't be
preserve
taught.
it, but I suppose we could probably. I suppose we could probably treat ourselves to maybe the head of it, couldn't we?
Oh, of course, you need to bring it back. Yes, maybe the head. Okay, I will have a tiny bite of the gills, maybe.
I bought some things just in case because I knew that Phil would catch us a big one. So
He walks over to the cart and pulls out like a little wooden storage box and opens it up where there's a couple of utensils. What's your passive perceptions?
11.
11. Okay.
Perception. Just now physical.
Underneath your saving throws box, there's a box that says senses, and it's got your.
Oh, right,
passive-
yeah.
Yeah.
Passive perception is 11.
Okay, both 11. That's good enough to notice this. You notice that the sky, it was getting towards dusk by the time you arrived. The sky has started to darken a little bit, and there's a slight smell to the air. You're not. But both of you make a nature check to see if it's familiar.
Go +2. 7 + 2, 9.
9. Okay.
13 minus 2, so 11.
11. Okay. You're both. There's something about, but you're not not enough to kind of completely jog your memories. But as you're standing in the water, you start to notice something. On the surface of the water, tiny ripples, almost like rain. But you check the sky, and it's started to darken, but there's not rain falling. You stare at it a little longer as Hodge comes back with the tools, and he, with his wait, you've got something as well, haven't you, about smells as a Vulpin?
I was about to Vulpin size, speed, dark vision, bite, evasion, guile. No, I don't think I any.
Okay. With he comes back. What's that? There's something on the wind, and then he looks into the water as well. What's that in the water?
What's that in the water? Is the fish back?
No, something's. Is that ash? There's heavy ash on the winds. Winds must be picking up. Ah, it's good for their crops, though, mind.
Yeah, no. This is what this area is famous for. No, this is normal. No, Phil.
This,
You know that the ground around the area is usually fertilized by ash being blown on the winds from the scorched grove. It tends to get blown and fall and help kind of enrich the soil.
right. It used to be a lot less common, but is happening more and more. I suppose the fates have decided that this is what is needed.
Oh, does it mean the grove burns again?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Phil. You explain. You're better with this stuff than I am.
I mean, as you. So, are you saying I know about the fertilization cycle of the area and that there is a natural burn in the area? Is that something I would know?
You would know that the scorched grove does. Small fires do occasionally start, and the tenders make sure that they don't spread into anything too damaging and try and control them as soon as they set up, and that there's been an increased frequency or rumors of an increased frequency of that in recent times, certainly. But the ash, there's in this area there's sometimes heavy ash fall where the wind's kind of picked up and taken a lot of the ash into the air and then sort of dumps it this way.
Right.
And they're sort of like, a little bit like ash storms that kind of come in. So
My dad's been complaining about how the ash tenders have not been doing their job as much recently. The ash has definitely built up more than it should, and I'm definitely concerned.
Wait, so do you think that because the wind is picking up and ash is flowing, that tenders might be nearby? I would like to see them in action. Can we go and see? Can you do you know enough about this area to know where the tenders might be going, so we can take a look?
We just follow the ash. It's not rocket science, but have you not seen enough action today? Look at this fish.
Sure. Maybe. Okay.
If there's if there's an ash storm coming in, we gotta get back to the farm to help Doc, because we're gonna have to bring all the tools in. But the tenders in the town, Mr. Rigsby, they'll be the servant. He'll be getting ready to head out if there's the possibility that any activity's kicking up. So we could probably catch him on the way if you
Oh,
wanted.
that would be lovely. Yes, It is. I mean, it is the kind of thing that I would like to see in action.
Yeah, sure. But we'll load the fish on the wagon. We can hightail it back down there.
Very well. And I look at Phil and just wait until he loads into wow. Just.
I'd look at Podge and look at as if he's the one supposed to be loading it into the wagon.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course. You've done the hard work already catching it, so he boom picks it up and puts it in. I'm afraid you two are probably gonna have to work though. There's no room for you in this, so let's get a move on then. I'll lead the way.
And he picks up the handcart and starts walking with
Very
it.
well. Let me just get my instruments. The fish is on top of it. It's gonna the smell. And I just get all my instruments back, the strap, the drum, the flute, and just put it all back on my back.
Yeah. What are you gonna?
Sorry, as you walking off slightly past, I grab you and say, "Are you gonna leave the way Hodge helped out the songs, right? Because that might be a problem."
What do you mean a problem?
Like I caught that fish all on my own. Like everyone knows that, right?
Oh, for certain. I mean, you use the expert technique, but of course, the daring helper and friend of Phil Swan. I mean, it is good to have, a secondary character to the story, someone that other people can relate to if they don't relate to the hero.
Yeah. Okay. So like an idiot that the people can relate to.
Oh, doesn't necessarily have to be an idiot, but we can add some comic relief elements to it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose the peasants and the people need something to, relate to.
Yes, after the tension, after the fish is caught and the tension is relieved because the hero has overcome the challenge. The Podge says something funny, and then the tension is relieved in the story.
All right, as long as people know I'm the hero.
Of course, and I just grab the flute and go and start like a tune, I'm just trying to find the theme, the melody that better encompasses you, and I just go.
As you start playing, another sound cuts right through the air. The heavy sound of a bell in the distance, just being like a town crier would have, like a handbell just ringing. You hear that?
Yeah, it's not in tune.
Drops the cart. Like you just see him drop the cart. You hear that? That's the fire alarms from the towers in town. He just starts looking around in a visible panic. We gotta get back. I can't. Like picks up the fish, then drops the fish. I can't carry on. We gotta get back, quick, Phil.
I look at Phil.
I sprint as fast as I can towards the town.
Oh dear, here we go.
Phil, you were probably a good, let's say, 20 minutes outside of the town at the lake, and you started moving back at a leisurely pace for 5 or so minutes. So you're about a quarter of a mile, let's say, outside the town from where it
That's a,
is, from where you went.
that's.
So it's
I'm
not. It's not.
aware. Yeah, it's not impossible. I'm aware of it. The distance,
No.
surely.
It's
So
not to let you know that you can't run it. It's just to let you know that it's not just a quick sprint. You
no, I'm out of breath.
start running. Hodge coming up next to you, and presumably Diego as well. As you all start running, Phil, you notice that you know you're slower than everybody else with your little Luma legs start moving, and Hodge sort of turns around. His name's just going to be Hodgepodge because I keep calling him Hodge and Podge. So
Yeah.
he's known as both. He turns around. He's like, oh, Phil, I know you got little legs, but come on, we gotta go. And he turns around and he starts like grabs your hand and pulling you basically to try and keep up with the rest of the team.
I am faster, but I get winded very fast. I have +0 con. So
Well, you're all a bit out of breath and do start to slow as you hit a wall in your running, but you start to slow down naturally anyway because as you make it towards the town, the air starts to thicken, more ashes falling, and dark black clouds start forming in the sky.
Oh, geez.
Heat intensifies as you just start hearing crackling off in the distance, making your way through the forest further and closer and closer to the town. Orange flames lapping at trees nearby,
Oh no.
caressing the stone wall. Over the top, already the fire, because of the winds, has carried it so quickly that the rooftops of some of the buildings moving its way to the watchtowers have started burning. There's a visible panic throughout the town as the market sellers have just abandoned their produce. People are running home, trying to grab things. You see the guards that were outside the gates marshalling people to and fro, trying to get them to the other side of the town, to the south side, to get them out. It's absolute pandemonium here. Like, it came out of nowhere and it's just engulfed everything so quickly. The Corvan you saw before in blue robes at the tavern, seemingly casting magic in an attempt to quell the fires, with a large servant male in robes next to him doing the same, calling water seemingly out of thin air to douse it, but steam's going off, but the fire doesn't seem to be quenched. As you
Whoa.
arrive at the north gate, luckily its stone has sort of prevented the fire from completely overthrowing this area, but deeper into the town it's spread. A guard, seeing you, looks. Phil, he says, Phil, Hodge, fire, you gotta get out, everyone's going south of the town.
Wait, what's south? Why everyone is abandoning the town?
It's a blaze, can't you see?
Can you not fight it? Are you gonna let all the buildings be destroyed?
We only got 2 tenders. Move! He starts gesturing you through.
Can I look around, see if I can see one of the tenders?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the servant that you know, Rigsby, who's just there, deep in kind of concentration at trying to muster whatever sort of druidic magic he can to help combat this blaze.
So I try and ask him if there's anything I can do to help, knowing that he's the real, I know the town, so I know he's the person that would be in control of the situation if there anyone is.
You move up towards him. You can see him straining. The fire has moved through the north side of the town. He's kind of just a ways in at one of the buildings, like trying to stop it in its tracks, blowing huge gusts of wind to try and knock all the burning pieces of ember and timber the other way so the fire can't leap onto the next building. Almost trying to create a wind barrier to stop it from
Firewall.
yeah
Yeah.
from moving. You go up to him and he's deep in concentration.
Phil, just make sure people get out safe. We'll do what we can to stop the blaze.
I look around for anyone injured or that might be struggling.
You look around and you realise that most people have left this area. In fact, the town is almost deserted at this point. Everyone's ran through towards the south gate. The three of you there with the guard just coming in are kind of almost on your own. But Hodge, at this point in time, seeing the fire and you go, being left with you, Diego, immediately is sort of panicked and ran off in the direction of his home, presumably,
Oh,
saying, "Da! Da! I've got to make sure he's all right! Da!" And is just kind of left.
I'll get Phil and we'll be right behind you. Don't worry. And I go.
I use my lay on hands on the guy that's fighting the fire for 2 points and then run off with them.
Yeah, he's got like small wounds on his hands where it's blistered, where he's kind of been so close to the flames. You touch him and imbue a small amount of. Have you got any particular color you'd like your magic to kind of be themed around?
What we?
There's
What are the colours of the? Is there a colour representing my faith at all?
Not really, but due to the duality of it, you could have kind of like white and black intertwined magic, sort of like a, a bit like a yin yang kind of.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of concentrate, and across his hands, this sort of white glow with twining black spirals moves across him, and some of the blisters start to like scab and heal. And he looks, he's like,
Thank you, Phil. But really, you must go. I can't control this blaze forever.
and he turns.
Seeing that Phil is kind of like trying to help, I go like, oh damn, come on, Diego, and I grab my flute and I quickly go into like a quick like a short tune and cast Gust Barrier. Is a cantrip I have. I think it's from this the Humblewood book. No, it's a cantrip. It doesn't do anything. It just creates a gust of wind around me that gives disadvantage with range attack against me. It's just that I'm gonna very quickly realize that it's not doing much, but I'm just trying to help there.
As you play, like you say, a bit of wind starts like spiraling around you, and to onlookers, Phil, it looks like something amazing is possibly about to happen, and then the wind kind of finds a plateau of speed and just starts, and then fades off. At this point in time, this fire hasn't been managed to be contained on the other side of the street. If you imagine, they're kind of trying to prevent it from going up one avenue, but it's spreading up the other. Hodge, the area that he's ran to, has now almost been blocked by flames, and you find yourselves just kind of trapped almost on this other side of the town.
Poch went that way, Phil. Come on. He went to look for his dad. He might be in danger.
Yeah, so I chose after D and see if I can find Hodge.
Yeah, here we come. Phil and the D.
Make a... As you start like running through this burning town, bits of timber collapsing from the roofs. Make a dexterity saving throw, both of you, as you begin to sort of dart through the streets towards the more agricultural section, where the farmsteads are. Actually, where your family is as well.
Another natural one.
Another 2 for me.
A 2, okay.
Plus 4, so 5, but yeah.
You think you know a shortcut, Phil? That
the deadly one
through the town. You're like, we can cut through the market area, and you turn up to run there, and suddenly a huge timber slams down in front of both of you, sparking embers everywhere. As you take, I keep losing my roll 20 window for some reason. As you, Phil, take 3 points of fire damage, and Diego, you take 2.
Oh wow!
How do I track that? Sorry.
It burns.
So on D&D Beyond, on the top right, you've got a hit points thing.
Current and max.
Okay.
And you can type the number into the box and press damage. There's a little entry box right next to your hit point value, and that'll take it off.
Right, cool.
But it
Phil, are
slams
you
down.
sure is this way?
Diego, your leg, however, has become trapped under this beam,
No.
and the fire's starting to, with your natural one, the fire's starting to spread up towards you.
I tried
Phil,
to
you see
push
this,
away.
Diego's struggling. Make a strength check as you try and push it off.
Yeah, I
The
got.
bit that you're able to press, the fire hasn't quite got to yet.
Yeah.
It's burning on one end that's caused it all to fall, and that's
Yeah.
sparked.
You
Is this happening too quick for me to run over and help?
You can run over and help, so roll with advantage.
Okay. I mean, I still have -1 as you help me. So first roll is a 4.
Yeah.
Second roll is a 7, so 6.
Okay. Now, like, you're both there struggling to get this beam up as the fire now, you can really feel the heat intensifying, quickly coming up the beam and the fire spreading through the town. You realise that to get to Hodge at this point in time is almost impossible.
No.
The fields have started to burn. Phil, you suddenly realise that your family's farm is just in that direction, and glancing towards it, the fire has just consumed your house at this point in time.
Oh dear.
It's you know, you don't know whether your family's in or out, but the house is gone, like up in flames.
I'm gonna burn. Oh no.
Make another strength check.
I grab my drum and go tum. One last drum beat for the death of Diego Alejandro. Tum tum as I push. Oh wait, 18 -1, 17.
No, that's enough. You hearing the resonation of the drum, you're like, no, I will not die to this sad timbre, and manage to heave the log. The
Roll away.
support from your off your leg as you back out. The sky is blackened at this point with smoke, ash raining down. The fires completely cut you off.
Phil, where to? Where to? Phil, where is the southern exit? Where is Podge?
So sorry, I got distracted shutting a door. Are you off? Is the plank of wood off you? Yeah.
The plank
Yeah.
of wood's off, and you've realised that you were a little ways still in the northern part of the town, and you're basically now trapped in this part of the town. The
Okay.
Southern and the Corvum, who were tending the fires, have realised that where they were kind of putting their effort is futile, and they've even kind of left. You look around to see that there's no one about really at this point in time.
Can I? So if I feel like I'm trapped, can I have a look around at the buildings and see if I can realise if there's any buildings I can like cut through?
Yeah, make a perception check with advantage, as this is your home.
I like that. Let's cut through buildings. But ideally, if they're not on fire.
Not brilliant. Yeah, 6 + 1 = 7.
Yeah, was that with advantage?
That was with advantage. I got a 1 and a 6.
Okay. You look around, but the smoke is stinging your eyes. It's dense. You can't quite, is that place going to be safe? You can't see if the fire is on a building or on a building next to it, or, maybe it's at the back. You're unsure. At this point in time, the fire spread so much that the southern gate probably, you can guess, is going to be difficult to get to. Your best bet probably is to head back out the northern one, where your path, thanks to it being kind of stone-laden, remains somewhat clearer.
That's away from my family, right?
That's away from your family's
I'm from Podge.
house. Yes.
So this is the only way. It's either this or we all die today, and then sort of like try and pull you away to the up the north.
I'll just let myself be dragged. I have no understanding of what's going on here. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, from the tower, that's a little ways deeper into the town. The town's quite long. It's almost built along a road, so it's not particularly wide, and it's flanked by farmlands. The tower sits in the middle with the Smoking Barrel Tavern up towards the south end. So from the tower, where the fire is now kind of spread past and is licking up the wooden struts of the tower, you see the raptor guard that was standing there ringing the bell suddenly, like, taking a look around, leaping out of the tower, extending his wings and gliding southward towards the gate, presumably to join.
Everyone is abandoning their post. The town is gone.
Then we've got no other choice than to run away. I suppose the fate has decided this is my time to leave, and then keep going.
Yeah, so you run out of the northern gate. Because of where the fire's spread from, you're kind of forced to go due east almost, maybe a little bit southeast, but the fires come at such a way that it makes it difficult to kind of get round the town. You're just kind of funneled eastward as it's just formed like a wall of trees to your what would be on your right side as you're just
Right.
running through the forest. Do you want to? Is there anything in particular you want to do, or do you just want to kind of keep running and running?
Well, I feel like again, if it's an area where sort of controlled fires and the norm, I would sort of understand the like the dynamics of fire. So I feel like I would have some sort of knowledge of the best place to run in terms of knowing where it's going to spread to and sort of the direction to go in.
Okay, yeah, make a again with your geographical knowledge of the area, make a survival check with advantage as you try and think like, is there sort of maybe a rocky outcrop that you could find shelter in that wouldn't burn, or that you could sort of wait out until it gets under control?
I got 12.
Yeah, 12's good enough. You know of yeah, a small sort of cliff edge in the sort of more craggy area that's already been burnt,
Mm.
a little bit towards the scorched grove actually, where you know that the trees have already burnt down once and it would be difficult for them to burn again. So you kind of start veering slightly northward to this outcrop that you know of. At this point in time, you know you've been running for a little bit because the fire was quite heavy, and you're starting to get tired. But eventually you arrive there pretty uh, unscathed, other than the falling timber at this, as you just see in the distance, thick black smoke rising into the air.
Okay. Um,
Diego, presumably you're with him.
Yes, I'm following. I'm following.
I'm like, this is where we're gonna have to sit and wait this out. I just hope that everyone's okay. I don't know how to save my family. I don't know what I can do. And I seem quite like contemplative and like a bit distressed by what's happening and maybe a bit conflicted.
Yep, that's fine. You you resign yourself to the fact that there isn't really much of an option at this point
Yeah,
in time. You're lucky, I suppose, that you had all your equipment on you, your sword, your shield, but fate has dealt you maybe a cruel hand this time, and you find yourselves without a home, without the comfort of your family life in this
yeah.
hostile land.
After a short while, I sort of set out my bedroll just to show how sort of like realize this is my lot in life right now, and this is sort of where I'm gonna have to spend the night now that we're sort of far enough away from the fire.
Yeah, Diego, are you doing anything?
I am kind of like walking around as Phil prepares to lay down, and just kind of like thinking, and then going back again away from where we set up camp, and then come back and just sit down and grab my guitar, and I'll just play a simple sad tune as the fire raged mighty. Phil led us away on this wretched day. Ash Barrow was no more. It doesn't even rhyme. I'm sorry.
Uh, it's it's fine. I've not got any drink on me. Please don't do that again.
I'll put the guitar away and kind of like sit down around and just looking around, see if I see any stragglers, any survivors, any kind of movement.
Make a perception check. Yeah, as you're looking around the forest for anything that might be about.
11.
You don't see anything. In fact, it's eerily quiet. You can hear the kind of maybe crackle of the fire because it's still close to you, but you know it's moving the other way, so it's not there's not much of a danger of it spreading towards you. But you can hear the crackle of that and smell the heavy smoke in the air. But other than that, because of the blaze, a lot of the wildlife's fled the area. Birds have gone. It's sort of a horrible silence almost. That you're there left to contemplate
Yeah.
the experience. You imagine that because you arrived at town late, the blaze had hit as you were running when the bell rang. That a lot of people would have left instantly, moved south away from the fires. And unfortunately, from where you came in, you were kind of cut off from the rest,
Mhm.
and no one probably would have ran back round this way. So,
Phil, you heard them. They were all running south gate, south of the city or town. Do you?
They'll be safe. We just need to sit this out. Then we'll find them in the morning. There's nothing we can do today.
Can you find a way around town to where they are?
I seem just bothered and want to shut him up, but stand up and use my what's it called? My wing flap ability to see if I can. What? How high is that? It's a bonus. You can powerful feather
not hugely high.
half your movement speed. It's not far at all, is it?
No, you probably. What's your strength?
Strength is 15.
Okay.
Plus 2.
So you can. What's your strength modifier? +3.
Plus 2.
2. So you can jump. Was it a high jump is 3 plus your strength modifier?
No. Oh right, and then do a wing flap.
Plus your wing flap. So you could probably get like just about 20 foot in the air. But yeah, you leap
How
up.
tall are the trees?
Taller than 20 foot. These are in this part. They grow quite high, probably like 30 foot, maybe a bit more, 40 even. The trees in the
Alright.
area tend to grow rather large. You know that people build perches, militias build like treetop perches and stuff.
Alright, well I'll do it and try and land on a branch to see if, and then, yeah, sort of
Yeah, you
do
can
a
do that.
high jump and then a wing flap to see if I can land on a branch and have a look around.
What do
Yeah,
your
make a
pigeon
perception
eyes
check.
see?
Give us a perception check as you go higher up into one of the trees and start trying to see.
And I'll learn when these things are at some point. There you go.
I think they're in alphabetical order, those ones.
Yeah, they are. Not great, not good. 6, 5 plus 1.
Yeah, I mean the smoke is dense in the
Mm.
sky. You can make out like the faint orange glow from where you think the town would be, but you can just see smoke and fire.
Right, I think so, yeah. The smoke and fire is just far too much. If we try and move away from our safe position now, I'd worry we'd get us surrounded on fire, and
But
we're not going to be able to help anyone if we're burnt to a crisp.
do you know a way that we can circle around where everyone went, like south of the city, maybe away from the fire, but around? Do you know? How well do you know the paths?
Like, I suppose, yeah. Do we know how local the fire was? Like, do we know where it came from originally?
It's hard to tell exactly. You know it sort of. So if we look at D&D, roll 20.
D&D roll
Okay.
20.
D&D or
We are. I can drag you across to here.
Oh, Humblewood map. There we go.
This is the Humblewood map. So you are here.
Where's
in
Ashbar? Oh
Ashborough,
wow.
where this little pin is.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're here. You head. So the Scorched Grove is deep into this sort of burnt area, but Ashborough, just being on the edge of it, sort of built into this ashlands with its stone walls. You moved maybe about. Let me just move the pin. Somewhere around here. You went fishing.
Where, yeah.
You imagine the fire sort of came from maybe this kind of area
Yeah.
across into the town. So you've ran out the north gate and kind of gone northeast. So you're probably nestled just above these mountains somewhere here, where the fire was kind of like burning this unburnt patch, like on the edge of it, across into town.
Okay.
It sort of
Okay.
spread. So I
I
can
assume I would know of the town of Meadowween then.
Meadowfen. That's
Meadow.
Meadowfen, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my that's where I am from originally. Yeah.
We'll be so we'll be walking almost as south as Meadowfen and then going back on ourselves. And by that time it will be tomorrow, and hopefully the blaze has settled down anyway.
Look, how can it be that the tenders are constantly fighting against this, but not actually trying to go and understand the source of these fires?
Which
Wouldn't be, someone, shouldn't we be doing something to try and understand why these fires occur?
it's part of the wheel of fate. Is when the
No, but you
the
cannot.
fires burn,
But
and then we get the growth of the crops from the ash. It's
But-
how our local all works.
but Phil, your entire town just burned. You can't resign yourself to the will of whatever comes your way. I understand your faith, but surely you want to understand why this is going. This is coming this way. Why are fires? The whole town is gone.
You clearly don't understand my faith, and I again have to remind you I do not have a drink on me, and do not feel like I am prepared to have this conversation with you. Because this is the hand we've been dealt, and we must follow through.
And you never question your hand.
If I question it, I would be concerned with what I might discover, and who am I to question the gods?
That is a fair point. I'm very well. I'll let's rest then. This is safe to rest. Well, if you know how to get to the people that survived, to the refugees now, I guess. Let's see if we can find them tomorrow. I need to understand what's going on. My own town is not far from here, my birthplace, and I am worried that this scorched grove will extend and burn throughout the entire land. Surely that's a fate that is worth fighting against.
You say you're from. So I suppose this is the first time I've learnt that you're from Meadowfen, right? So yeah. So you say you're from Meadowfen.
I am, yes.
Remembering my own family, I say then if you are concerned about others, we should probably head towards that then. Keep your wits about you and follow me. And then we start to walk. I assume I would know the local area enough to start walking south towards Meadowfen.
Yeah, you realise, just to give you a little bit of context, at this point in time it's started to get dark. Obviously the fire's there, you've been running a lot, your body is tired, and you feel this probably is a safe place to rest. You can continue if you want, but that's just the knowledge that you have. Like, you know that it's late, you know where
Alright,
you
then
are.
I'll change my tack and I'm like, look, we're both. I've got a lung full of smoke climbing through this fucking tree, and I know you're concerned, but we'll keel over and move so slowly at the moment. We'll be better off waiting until morning. Don't think there'll be much difference in the time it'll take us to get there anyway. I still recommend we rest.
Okay, that certainly sounds sensible. Yes, I mean you are the local. I will follow your lead. I am just concerned that these things keep happening. We need to find out what's going on with the grove, and if we can.
I am getting frustrated by his own self, sort of like worrying about himself, and I sort of snap at him like, I just watched my family home burn to the ground. Don't tell me about your own concerns, and then flap into bed.
I'll sit down and stay silent for a bit, and then just play a few like just instrumental tunes, and then just fall
I
asleep.
pick up my bedroll and move slightly further away.
Yeah, you move. The cave is the cliff face is sort of convex, so you sort of move round the corners of it slightly, like the curvature of it slightly.
Okay.
Eventually, unless anyone wants to do anything else, sleep takes you exhausted, aching, like coughing. You know, the smell of burning timber matted into your fur and feathers. You both fall asleep, exhausted as the night starts to pass. Morning light
I've
breaks.
actually taken damage and stuff. Should I take a short rest or a long rest?
You're taking a long rest, so if you click on the your picture
Should
of
I
your
just not
character
hit this
sheet,
long rest button?
you can also just hit that long rest button. Yes,
Okay, sorry.
and you press refill hit points to maximum as well. I think you have to double click confirm as well. It does a thing where it does like a countdown. You got to press it again in that time.
Yeah, I
Just in
did.
case you
Cool.
yeah.
So did that not accidentally? Cool. Yeah, that sort out my lay on hands as well. Cool. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it'll refresh all your abilities. So as the sun starts to rise above the treetops, you're both resting. But Diego, you find yourself sort of rousing from your slumber as you hear a noise. Kara, Kara, we got some over here. We got some over here. As your eyes open, you see standing over you, dressed in sort of leathers and scruffily put together, military outfit almost, holding a shield, a raptor. You down there? You're right.
Yeah, yes, we are. Where do you hail from?
We're from Meadowfen. We found your trails coming out of the city. We thought there were some people this way. You there as well? Is he with you?
This is Phil. He's a local. His family. I think the whole town burned.
Yeah,
We've just head into it. Kara, come quick. There's
I
two
go
of them.
over and ask if they've seen any swans.
Any swans? No. Not many people about. We head into the town and at this point a large for a strig, quite small, the owl type race woman walks up. Oi, you folks doing all right, are you?
We're fine.
I mean, as good as we can be considering the circumstances.
I'm concerned about my family. I saw my house burn. Have you seen any of the Swan family?
No, I'm sorry there, little one. We were in the town. We came as far as we saw the smoke. A few of us headed south. We saw some trails going north as well, so we followed this lot. I think they found some refugees down that way, and they've started to move who they can. But
I start to walk towards where she sort of gestures.
Wait, no, stop! There's bandits in the area as well.
Bandits after a fire.
Well,
how?
The bandit coalition, you know what they're like. They've seen the smoke. They know there's going to be a lot of displaced individuals.
I shrug and tap my sword.
Do I know anything about a bandit coalition?
Yes, you would do. Well, yeah, you would do. So you know that in the area, there's Alderheart, that's kind of like the capital of the city, where a lot of the power is kind of concentrated, and a lot of the less wealthy people who are struggling for food and stuff in the sort of turn of the climate, who have maybe been displaced by fires, have been picked up by a kind of bandit coalition, a group of organized bandits that have kind of formed together.
So look, if your family, and I hope that they are all right. Some of the others, like myself, my name's Kara Stormsinger. We came up from Meadowfen with as many as we could muster to help out. They'll be taken back to there. But listen, we're about to move there ourselves. We got to report in, let people know that there's a fire. Please come with us. We can put you into some shelter. We can tend to your injuries, but it's not safe to wander these woods with that bandit coalition going around. I know you got a sword there, little one, but I pray that you wouldn't have to use it. Let us handle that kind of thing, okay?
Do you know how the fire originated?
Same as always, I think. We haven't had a chance to speak to the tenders. that might have been fighting it, but we think that Scorch Grove has just been acting up.
I ask if they've seen the. I've forgotten his name. Have you seen the tender that I know?
Oh, Rigsby.
Rigsby.
Nothing in town. If he left and he went south, then hopefully, like I say, the rest have picked him up. There's a lot of good folk out there looking to help, so I'm sure he'll be all right. Just I'm sorry about your family.
What?
I wish we could have been here sooner, but it's always up the road. We came as soon as we saw the smoke.
Your sorry means nothing. And again, I start to walk towards where I feel like they might have headed towards. So that'll be thingy, right? I start to head towards Meadsfin.
Meadowfen. Yeah, the Strig, who is planning on heading that way anyway, the southeast, says,
Hi, we're going down this way. Please, look, I've got some water on me if you'd like it.
I
see
would
it's
certainly
just that
like it.
rough.
Yes.
Help yourself.
She turns to the other raptor.
Guilford, give this young Luma your water. And then
You got anything?
have it.
I sort of disregard it and ask if they've got anything stronger. Have you got anything stronger for me?
I can understand the need, but not on me here. I tell you what, I got some in my house down in Meadowfen. You come with us down to there and I'll pour you a glass. It's not safe out here.
I suppose so. And then yeah, I'm happy to go with you.
Alright. You two stay close to me now. Guilford. Oi, man. You take point. We'll move through the ashlands a bit, and then we'll cut due south down the cliffs onto the roadside. It's going to be about half a day's trek to Meadowfen, and so keep your strength about you. Don't need that bread all in one go. We ain't got much rations on us should we need them.
Okay, well, let's go.
As we start to walk, I ask about. Have you guys seen? What the fuck's his name? Have you guys seen Podge?
Podge, I'm not familiar with the name. Sorry.
He is the local idiot. He also runs the tavern.
He's a hedge.
Oh,
Look at it.
from Ashborough. I'm sorry. There was nothing, no one around when we got there. Place has been razed to the ground, burnt out. None of the buildings standing. So if he made it out, I'm sure he's fine. But the tavern, I mean, what was left of it was rubble and ash. I'm sorry.
I don't bother responding. Really upset.
Look, I bet you he's all right. I'm sure. Even an idiot knows how to tie their shoes, don't they? So I'm sure he made it out of there.
Realizing this idiot sometimes doesn't. It's just smiles enough. It gives back a smile. Like the kind of smile that is there to hopefully end the conversation rather than genuine.
Yeah, thinking about it as well, you can't ever recall a time that Podge has been wearing shoes.
No.
He was always one for the mud on his feet.
Yeah.
You start moving through the fringes of the burnt lands. The trees here, not ones that burnt recently, that have burnt ages ago, are skeletal husks. They remain just dried and brittle. The ground thick with ash. Your feet dip into it as you're treading through it, almost like snow, kind of kicking it about. It's unusual, and still eerily quiet. Wildlife in this area obviously doesn't really come by often. Birds aren't in the trees, insects aren't in the foliage because it's just seemingly non-existent. Whilst the ash helps fertilize when it's caught on the breeze and taken to other soils, here it's in such abundance that it's almost impossible. It smothers everything underneath it. As you're moving along, you go for a good couple of hours along this sort of rocky, ashy face, keeping the lush forest a little ways below you to your to the south side, to your right, as you're moving. So I can draw on this map. You're kind of moving along these cliffs this way. Actually, can I undo that? It's a bit
You can click it and delete it.
Yeah, you're probably going like a bit like this is your plan to kind of come out of the cliff sides and move down into the forest. But as you're moving along, I need everyone to make a perception check.
Good, the +1. And fucking hell, it was a 2. +1,
18.
18.
17 plus 1.
Okay, yeah. Can I do? How do I do silent stuff? Can I do that, Lucas?
What silent stuff?
Like, there's like a. Can't you like whisper rolls, or only I can see them? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, if you wanna do it on what system? On Roll20 you can do /R. Oh, sorry, slash GM roll.
Okay. Well, let me just check the.
I mean, you also have a die. No, you have dice.
Oh, in real life, I do.
Why?
I do have those. I got them. I'm prepared. So what did you roll? Sorry.
18.
18. Okay. And then let me just do them for these fine folk that you're with. So it's. Have I got a picture of that I can?
How many are there of these
There's
guys?
2 with you. So there's like a bird, raptor dressed in sort
Yeah.
of leathers, and then there's a strig who's dressed in kind of like hide armor, like beast furs
Okay.
and stuff, carrying with her an axe, and the other person has a mace and a bow slung across their back. As you're walking along, Phil, in the ash, you start to notice some movement, sort of kicking up some ash, just to the side of you. Let me just roll perception for these guys.
I didn't notice anything.
No, you didn't notice anything. But Phil, you did.
Okay. Are you sending me something somewhere?
I'm not sending you something, I'm just letting you know that you noticed the ash kind of moving around you a little bit.
Like, in a way, and so is it a way that feels unnatural?
Yeah, it's just a small movement, sort of to the almost like something is moving through it, but you
Okay.
can't see.
Yeah. Did anyone else notice that?
Seemingly not. No, as wait, let me just check. What is? No, no one else seemed to notice. As
I asked. Sorry.
Guildford. Oh, okay. Notice what? Sorry.
I just something moved, like the ash. Things looks like it's swirled, like a, almost like a movement through it. I'll tell you what I fucking can do. I know what I'll do. As if something moved through it.
The strig starts looking around. I didn't see anything myself.
Do I notice anything with my divine senses?
Oh, interesting. What does that sense?
As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet. That is not behind total cover.
You don't. Nothing. No undead. No celestials. Nothing like
Okay.
that pings on your radar. But again, you see it. The shift, and you all see it now that Phil's pointed it out. To your side, the ash like weaves slightly, coiling round, and then from the ash jumps up. Man, my music's so serene for this. A snake launches from the ash, hisses at Guildford at the front. A second one moves round, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh no, it put Doom music on.
Wait, what? Where are you playing the music?
I've just got a playlist on D&D Combat on Spotify.
Oh, but are you sharing them on? No.
I don't
It's
have
just
the party thing set up.
it's just for you then.
Yes, I need to get this sorted for the real thing. I can link you the playlist.
I've got all night, so it's not a problem. But do you know how long we've got left? I just want to tell Charlotte whether or not to expect
I
me
was going to
sneaking
say
into bed.
probably about half an hour.
Half an hour. That should be fine.
Okay, I roll. Oh, there. My rolls today are super crap. 7 plus 2, 9 initiative.
Wait, let me ignore the flames on this.
What flames?
Wait, I gotta move you across. Wah.
Oh, it's all on fire! Wait,
It's all-
give me 1 second. I'm going to take a peek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you are up.
17 was mine, by the way.
17. Yeah, cool. So, oh god, I've got the bloody draw tool activated. So you walk in here. You had the strig.
These are nice maps. Did you pay for these, or
I
were they
didn't.
built
I
in?
stole them.
Bastard.
Well, I Google searched them and they came up, so I don't think that's stealing.
No, that's on them for not.
So you're
Looking
kind
after.
of here. Actually, we'll put you a bit more central. You were kind of like here. He was leading
That's
the
better.
way. So this is the thing that I need to work out how to do properly. So we've not done this yet. So if I drag out you and then assign it to you, Pigeon Paladin, there you are. And then controlled by James O. Save changes. Can you move that guy around?
Yes.
Nice.
Was
And
there, right?
yeah, I mean, you can be just put yourself kind of around these two. Where's the go?
Okay.
Choose
So,
one.
flames. Oh dear.
I've just got to. I've lost your token, Lucas, for some reason. I created it earlier today and it's gone. Where is it? Avatars.
I can see. Yeah, I don't see my token.
No.
I see
your-
Phil's, the fine-looking pigeon,
Yeah.
and
he's
a
on
bunch of
hold.
people there.
Where are you? Why aren't you here? Okay, I'll re-upload yours another time for the next session. For now, you can use.
Yeah, I haven't any
This-
token assigned on my list either, so I cannot move anything.
No, I'll assign this to you, controlled by Lucas. You can be this Vulcan token.
Yeah, I see it now. Perfect.
So yeah, you'd be kind of like around here, and out of the ash towards this guy. So it moved past you, Phil, and then jumped up here and here. Two fire snakes jump out of the ash.
Oh
They were
no!
moving along, and then boom, they emerge. So sorry, this is the first time I've done combat in this, so I just gotta.
Yeah,
Like,
are you
have
using
you-
the D&D Beyond combat encounter thingy?
I'm not. I'm using Roll20 for my guy.
Oh.
So
Okay, if you're gonna use Roll20, yeah, the easiest thing to do is just keep adding them manually.
yeah, I'm doing the initiative trackers here. So that's them and that's them. So what was your initiatives?
18.
9.
Okay, so if I
Sorry, I lie. 17.
that is a lie.
'Cause that does change things.
You
Come
gotta
to here.
you gotta kill them all, Phil. Come on.
Add turn. So 17 for you, and yours, Lucas.
9.
Add turn. That's the streak tracker. Whoops. Add turn. 9. Okay. Now let's order this by descending. Boom. There we go. Okay. So launching out of the ground, out of the ash. Sorry, in a puff of ash, this fire snake emerges, and it moves straight towards Guilford. You see Kara pointing. So if you look down on the map, I don't know how zoomed out you are,
Mhm.
but the forest and the path is just off the cliff face below. We gotta get down there. Just Guilford, hold them off. We'll move down to the path. We gotta get the little ones to safety. The snake moving towards
What are the little ones, by the way?
You two, presumably, you think that she's
Oh,
talking about.
okay.
The first fire snake moves and bites, and that's definitely gonna hit. Advantage toggle. I don't know. I've got to set for that. Hits and you see this snake jump up and bite, latch onto the arm of Guilfred. Ah! He starts flailing around and chucks the snake back down to the ground. The bite glows red intensely as he, takes 5 points of damage. Next up, it is you, Phil.
So how many squares can I move? I
Each
have
square
a.
is 5 foot, and you
Alright,
have a move speed of
25.
25. You can
5,
do
10,
one
15.
diagonal for every something Lucas knows, I forget.
Yeah. It's
So
just
you can do one.
one diagonal costs 5, the next costs 10, and so on.
The next costs 5, the next costs 10. Yeah, it's.
Alright, so if I do 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can absolutely do that as you charge up.
Yeah, so I
snake.
sort of ran, head bobbing back and forth as I charged towards this fire snake, and then
As you like get towards it, it kind of shakes from being kind of thrown back down to the ground after biting this guy's arm and looks round, hissing at both of you. But as it hisses, like smoke rises up out of its mouth, and its insides, you can tell, glow with the kind of burning.
right, I'm gonna hit him with my long sword.
Yeah. Make an attack roll.
16.
16 is gonna hit. Yeah, roll your damage.
5.
5. So as it hisses at you, you sort of slash at it with the long sword. It moves its body slightly out the way, but you manage to score a good cut across it. Embers kind of fly out of it as you nick it with your blade, and these embers shoot towards you, and you take 1 point of fire damage as it sort of brushes against your armor and between the bits in your chainmail. But it also flies slightly towards towards the Guilfred as it sort of splays all over the place, and he takes 6 points of damage.
Wow.
Oh.
Ah! You've got to look. Get down to the path. I'll
Where-
hold them off.
Where,
he says to you.
Which one is Guildford?
He's the male. Kara Stormsinger is this woman here.
This
female
guy,
strike.
right?
No, but
Yes.
on the map.
Oh,
yeah.
he's this one here.
Yeah. Right.
Next up, it is Kara. She boldly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She runs towards this this second snake, brandishing her longsword in 2 hands. Swings once at it, twice at it, dealing, the first hit, sort of, the snake looks like it dodges out of the way slightly as it just takes a nick, but then she reverses the blade and brings it back up and does a really hefty score right across the snake's body. It takes 16 points of damage. Jesus. Wait, no, that's wrong. And it doesn't look happy. It hisses, but again, as she cuts into it, the sparks fly off, and she herself takes 6 points of fire damage. And now that snake goes, having just been cut quite badly by Kara. The snake returns the favor in kind. It dodges round, swings its tail at her, misses, and then launches forwards with its teeth. But just latches on to the heavy leather armor on
Okay.
her body. Seeing all this react, it's you, Diego.
I am gonna move here, jump on top of this log, grab the guitar, and I'm gonna brakate. I'm gonna cast Bane on those snakes.
Yeah.
In one fell swoop of the strumming, I will go as Phil Swan, our hero, charged forward, headlong. The fire snakes recoiled. Wait, no, that was the last. It doesn't matter. So I'll cast Bane on those, and I'll give Phil inspiration.
Yeah. Sure. You Bane is what? Is that a wisdom save or a charisma save?
So charisma saving throws, and then they get a D4 minus to their
Yeah, from
attack
their
rolls,
attack rolls.
or
So
saving throws.
what's your DC?
My
13
DC
or 14?
is 14.
Then they both fail. And they both get baned. Let's do this marker of a sad face. As
What does that do?
so Bane is a spell that means that on their attack rolls, or I think ability
Or
checks,
no, attack rolls or saving
or
throws.
on their attack rolls, or saving throws, Hex's ability checks. They get minus 1d4. So that makes
And you feel
worse.
get an inspiration die that you can use for your attack rolls or ability checks or saving throws.
Nice.
D6.
The
Oh.
bad folk, militia guy, Gilfred, he holds his mace, looks at his wound, looks at Kara. That one got me good, Kara. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but I can hold him off. And he swings his mace wildly at the snake, just missing, clearly in agony now, just trying to give it his best, but nothing connects. The snake that he hit turns to you, Phil.
Mm.
You know, given that one person's given him hassle, the other's missing, launches up to try and bite you with its fiery mouth, but misses against your heavy plate armor. Not heavy plate armor, your chainmail armor.
Fair enough.
It recoils, spins its tail round, but again, you manage to slap it away with your shield.
Excellent.
It's now your turn.
Like, how damaged does this snake look with my 5 points?
It's still got a lot of vigor in it. You know, looking over, you see the one that Kara scored a very painful
Good hit on.
cut against, and that one is a bit worse for their wear, but this one is kind of hissing and spitting embers with a lot of life.
I'll pour my water skin on it. I'm not going to waste time on that.
Your water skin is currently empty. You drank
Oh.
it after your night, and you haven't found a place to refill it yet.
Alright.
That's why you were offered water from the other two.
I am going to try and hit them just with my big old longsword.
Yeah,
16.
16 hits is you know, it seems stunned from being bounced off your shield, and you manage to swing in.
So, is it on the damage roll or on the hit roll? I would have added the +6.
Well, it's
D6.
a D6. It'll be on the hit. So you
Yeah, on the hit.
Oh, so I didn't need it anyway. Alright, and then my damage was a 2 + 2, 4.
4, yeah. Again, you're not feeling like you're connecting with it quite how you want, but you're kind of doing a steady
Chipping away.
job, yeah, of whittling it down. Kara again takes a step across this one to try and shield the embers from hitting Gilfred. Goes in with another slash of her longsword. Where's she gone? There She misses this time as the snake, anticipating the move, kind of recoils back. But again, she goes for the second swipe upwards. But the snake, wise to the same move she did last time, swings to the right, and the blade just kicks up some ash next to it. It hisses at her and leaps forwards, but fails to
Oh wow.
to connect. And it's you, Diego.
Very well. I am going to what do I do to these guys? Okay, I am going to move. Do I want to move? Yeah, I'm gonna move here between these two fires, and wait 1 second. I have 2 slots. I forget what it feels like to be level 1. I'm actually gonna go. Is this fire or not?
No, ignore the fire on the map.
Okay, then
It's all burnt, but it's not.
yeah,
fire.
I'm gonna let's surround this damn snake. I'm gonna try and hit it with my rapier. I kind of like go into a flourish. You know, you can see probably, Phil, that I am not. I'm not like the you know, the big fighter type, but rather a bit of a duelist. And I go into a flourish with the rapier, and I try to like pierce it through the neck, like with the with a lunge. Okay, let's see. It's a +4. It's not great. 16 +4.
Yes, that's gonna hit. Roll your damage.
So it's 1d8 +2. I roll a 1. 3 hit points.
Okay, 3 hit points. You jab the snake and just kind of pierce it towards its tail. But as you pull the rapier back, embers and just burst out of it. You take 2 points of fire damage.
Oh no! Oh no!
Take 3, and the bird folk militia guy next to you, Guildford, he takes 2 as it just like a mini firecracker kind of goes off on the snake's tail.
No!
Did you say I took 3 damage?
You took 3 points of fire damage, yeah.
I say, get the fuck away, you're not helping.
The Guildford looks at you. Look, I know you want to be the heroes. I get it, but please head to the road. Head to the road. As he goes to grab the snake, realizing that, you know, everyone around it and just hacking at it is just spewing flames upon hit. He goes in with his hand and attempts to grab hold
Oh no!
of this snake. So that's just going to be strength 11, and the snake's going to try and dodge him. 11. Yeah, he doesn't manage it. He goes in, but he goes to grab it, and you can tell that he would have got a good grip on it as well. But the heat from the snake was just too much, and he kind of pulls back, knowing, no, this is a bad idea. Suddenly, though, the ground beneath you begins to tremble.
Ooh.
You feel it, and then bursting out of the ground, a humongous. That's not very big. Oh, am I on? I'm on tokens. That's why, not sheets. A humongous snake with fire in its mouth, its body covered in cracks and ash.
Oh wow!
All along it, bursts out. Just roll its initiative.
You know what? That advice about fleeing, you know, sounds reasonable.
It Oh wait, I need to order this back by descending. It starts at the top of the round as it goes for a constrict attack. It basically bursts out underneath Guildford and wraps its body around him, and you just hear this sickening
Oh, he's gone.
crunch as his body just
Gilfil is gone.
completely constricted. It hisses into the air, ash just pouring from its mouth. The snake surround it, move away. This one, this huge apex predator, presumably, telling them to back off. This is its kill. You kind of get the feel by their retreat.
We get an opportunity to attack.
You get an opportunity to attack.
I'm not going to take it.
So that's that. Phil, it's your turn. You see this humongous snake just burst out of the ash.
I run over to here and try and grab this owl lady.
She actually, before you go, sorry, because this whole thing happened, she turns, looks at this thing, and looks at you, and just goes, "Make for the road, now!" Points at it, like, down off the cliff, and throws her longsword to the ground and pulls 2 hand axes out from her back.
Heroic last stand.
I'm impressed enough by that. I say, "All right, lady," and then I run away.
Yeah, you can sprint, so you can move 5. I got a range finder. So if you sprint, you can basically make it to the cliff edge.
She knows what she's doing. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely.
You hope so. Let's think. Where are we? Streak tracker. So yeah, she basically turns with 2 hits, both of them hitting against this this creature.
Oh wow.
Oh, I'm still in range.
And that's a lot of damage. 17.
Yeah, it sinks into it. And this creature just, the embers in its mouth start to glow heavy. It is not happy. The second snake, much like the first, flees, burrowing back down into the ash, terrified of this massive thing. Guilford's dead, and Diego, it's now your turn.
Fuck, I'm in range of that thing. I'm gonna disengage as an action.
Yeah.
And then move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna move straight in line, basically.
Yeah, you sort of get ready, staring at this thing, and move as its head goes to try and bite you, and just pick you up in its jaws as you move. But you're ready for it. You duck out the way. It zooms over your head, and you just start kicking through the ash towards the cliff edge.
Yeah, and with the drum, I'm just gonna play a quick a drum roll as I shout, "Gilbert, flee! Gilbert, flee with us!"
Oh wait, no, that's Kara. Gilbert's dead.
Oh, Gilbert's dead. Oh yeah, sorry, it's Kara. And I'll give her inspiration.
Yeah, sure.
By the way, Phil, just so you know, your inspiration that you haven't used yet, it lasts for 10 minutes, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah, so
Okay, so I've got a while.
Yeah, you can use it whenever.
Cool.
The ash snake that's now behind you, you just hear this like a big intake of air, and then heat on your back, Diego. Luckily, not reaching you, but this huge cloud of ash and ember just emits from its mouth.
Oh, they're gone. Our mates are gone.
No, Kara, you hear her sort of the tumble of her across the ground as she manages to sort of anticipate and dodge partly from it. And I can't get to my dice. Where's my dice? And she takes not a huge amount of damage. Actually, doesn't do loads. But that's not all, because after that the snake darts forwards with its massive body. But again, Kara,
come on,
dodging,
Kara!
seemingly effortlessly at this point, going toe to toe with this humongous thing, avoids the snake as it tries to coil around her. She beats her wings and manages to get above it and lands back down on the ground. That's next gone. Phil,
I should
you find
write a
yourself
song about her.
you find yourself on a cliff, staring down at a path below.
I shout at there you go. D, can you make this jump? It looks about how many feet's that?
It's probably only about 10 foot. It's not too high. Maybe 15.
It looks about 15 foot. You could probably do a roll at the end. You'll be fine.
Yes! Let's go!
But what does glide do? Does that give
You're
me some
wearing
extra
heavy
distance?
armor, so you can't do it.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do a little jumpy then.
Yeah, give us a dexterity saving throw as you jump off the cliff.
2.
2, okay, you land and you take 3 points of damage as you boom.
Fucking hell.
How much health are you on now?
Yeah, you're gonna kill me, mate. On 5.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You're right, I can still hurt you.
Have I got anything else left to do?
You've still got your action, and you could use to move
Yeah,
a
I'm
bit
gonna-
if you wanted, or you can use lay on hands.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay on hands. I'm gonna use 3, so just over half, I suppose.
So you know, your ankles sink into the ash below you, but it's not enough to kind of cushion your fall as you hit the solid ground underneath it. Your armor kind of giving you extra weight. It just jars all your bones a little bit. So you
But as I crouch down to feel the impact, I immediately use my lay on hands on my
Yeah.
ankles.
you kind of breathe in deep and suffuse your energy kind of over you, and just takes a bit of the burns that you had away.
Yeah.
Just give the ankles a quick massage, like.
Yeah, exactly.
It is Kara. She, well, with your back to her, you're not sure, but you gauge that she is just trying to swing her axes into this and making a good job of it.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
But she turns back to see you running towards the cliff and looks at this thing, and she's like, "The road will take you up to Meadowfen. I'll join you if I can." And she, just gestures.
Yep. Kara, I shall sing your praises.
Just make sure you're alive to do so. And it's gone. He's dead. You, Diego.
What are these little fire snakes doing? Like this one here.
Oh, they've buried into the ash now.
Oh,
and
okay,
just-
so they're
just-
probably proper scared of the big one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go. So if I move 30 to, I reach the cliff.
Yeah.
And then I will see. And now, what is it, like 15, 10 feet? You said.
Yeah, it's about 15 feet.
Fuck. It definitely sounded better than it looks now that I'm about to fall. And I look at the snake and say, fuck it. And just try and jump down.
Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw as you try to sort of tuck and roll on your landing into the ash.
There we go. Oh, this is good. 18 plus 4. 22.
Okay, yeah, you managed to sort of use the ash and onto your roll immediately onto your shoulders. So you only take 2 points of damage as you half the damage thanks to your
Cushioning it.
your controlled landing.
Yeah, I'm still very hurt. As I land, I come out of it like with all my stuff hanging over my back. Phil, Meadowfen, fast!
Yes, let's go.
Again, you hear the lumbering sound of the snake. It's heavy, it's cracked. There's a lot of dry branches kind of all buried underneath the ash, and as this thing's moving, you imagine the ash must have been pretty deep and packed for this thing to kind of be moving underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And as its body is writhing around, you can just hear the cracking of foliage that's sort of long since buried as it goes in for a bite on Kara. angry now that she's avoiding
Yeah,
its other moves.
she's in trouble.
It spins its body around and tries to. Oh wait, no, it can't do that. It's going to bite twice. Oh no, it's going to spin its body around and try one more time to grab her, but again, she flaps backwards, avoiding its thing. Phil. It's all
To me, yeah, I'm gonna fucking. I said, "Dear, are you with me?"
Yes, I follow.
You're like now down here, Lucas, as you jumped off.
Yeah, it's a 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I can basically get out of the map. Am I allowed to get out of the map?
Yeah, that's fine. Just start running up the road.
You come in on the other side of the map.
Yeah,
Pac-Man
yeah.
is, fuck!
Yeah, I'm off the map.
Streak Tracker, she is gonna, seeing that this thing is, taken quite a beating from her, but is still standing pretty strong, and realizing that, a few more bites and she's not gonna stand much of a chance, she opts to disengage and moves away from it. Oh shit, it's got 35. As best she can. Staring at you, Phil, moving up the road. Being like, go! Keep going! Keep going! And Diego, it's now you.
I will follow Phil.
Yeah.
As I follow, I look up at Kara, kind of alone there against the big snake now. Kara, you shall be remembered. And I flee.
Yeah, you see the snake sort of lumbering towards her. Oh, crikey, that's gonna hurt.
Oh,
Actually, it rolled terribly. It takes 13 points damage. Its head slams into the ground, biting at her, and thrashing. But, hearing all this noise going on behind you, you hear as Kara manages to disengage again, get to the edge of the cliff, and jump, extend her wings, soars through the air a little bit. You see her coming next to you, and then just crashes into the ground next to you.
oh no, she's dead.
No, she's not dead. She's very injured. She managed to get away from the snake enough to glide off the cliff
Okay.
where you are. You turn around and you just see the snake pull its body down. A huge cloud of ash spins around it, and it disappears. Kara lays there on the ground, bleeding heavily, burn marks around her, but still conscious. If there's things like that so close to Meadowfen, she manages to get herself to her
Oh
feet.
no.
I don't want them. We've got to let them know the fires are getting worse. Come with me, little ones. And she begins to walk up the road, struggling, but marching onwards.
Lead on. I mean, yeah, this part of the road, even I'm familiar with, because it goes to Meadowfen.
Yeah, you kind of gauge where you are now. You're sort of around this area on the road.
We can't see the map.
you
if
need
you're
to
looking
switch
at
it.
the map.
Oh yeah,
over.
I need to move the little tab.
So is she right behind us now? Or is she with us basically?
She's with you. Yeah, she's kind of moving at a bit of a limp, but
I use my final 2 lay on hands on her.
her wounds are quite extensive, but it manages to close up a little. The bleeding kind of stops as the wounds
Yeah,
coagulate a bit.
apologise that she can't do much more, and then ask her again if she's not got anything hard to drink.
Oh, believe me, if I had, I'd be bottle to beak right now.
Well, I'm sure we can make that happen once we get to somewhere more civilized. Come on, let's get going.
She couldn't agree more as she turns around, looks up at the cliff. Guilford was a good
good man, not a soldier, not a hunter. He just wanted to help out. I told him I was too dangerous. I'm not gonna want to tell Eleanor the bad news.
You don't dwell on the dead and try and sort of hurry it up a bit to get going.
Yeah, you all start to walk up the road in a sort of sombre silence as you take in the last 12 hours, the blaze, the fight, the sickening crunch of Gilbert's bones under the heavy snake's ashen body. After a few hours, you start to see the familiar sight for you, Diego, of Meadowfen just down the hill in the distance, a short walk away, and that's where we're going to close the session.
Cool. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
It looks like home. It doesn't feel like it though.
I'm not well. I just need a drink.
I wondered, Alder, how you were gonna, because your trait is that you've got some kind of addiction on your.
Yeah. Do I ever need to roll? I suppose I'll tell you secretly for whether I roll to make a decision based on that or not.
I mean, you can let me know secretly if you want. I mean, you're playing it fine. You will have to make Constitution checks if I feel you've drank to a point. But the fact that you're making it that your character has this thing that's quite prevalent, and other characters can react to it if necessary. Like Diego has clearly seen a side of you that is kind of invested in drinking to get through
Almost. I
certain
think
things.
maybe I'll message you when it's time. But I feel like sometimes there might be a choice that will come up where maybe I'll make the selfish choice of getting a drink or getting a booze or getting a drug, as opposed to doing what would make more logical sense.
Oh yeah, never feel the need to message me about player choices. You just do them. I have a background about your
What would I
character.
roll on my background then to make me? Because I don't want to have that choice either. Like the same way as an addict would say they don't have a choice.
Okay, if ever you want to do that, we can use the fate dice function in the dice thing. So if you go to the little dice option, I don't know what fudge is. It's got, yeah, fudge is the one. So you see these little dice that I'm rolling. So if you go on the dice icon on roll 20,
Oh, you can
at the very
just
bottom of
yeah,
that.
you can just type /R for the F to roll 4 of them, for instance.
Oh yeah, 4DF. So you can do that, and then you can see that that's like 2 negatives. So that would be maybe you're making the bad drink-based decision, whereas in your roll
Right.
you got 2 pluses. So maybe that's like you make the sort of decision that's more conscientious about
Cool.
whatever else is going on.
I like it. All right, that's good. I'll use that.
We can try and find out if what the whisper thing is, so you can do that without everyone seeing if you'd like.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll Google it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's cool. That works as a mechanic for me. I'm good with that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit
did.
of a dark start to your campaign, you know, both of you.
Yeah. What the fuck? We were fishing, man.
Well, I want it to be
We're
like a nice kind
fishing.
of fun thing that suddenly goes wrong
Yeah, yeah.
uncontrollably.
Nice. No, I enjoyed it. Good job. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you both. It went on longer than I thought, but I guess that's D&D.
Have you done the other two?
I haven't done theirs yet.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna do it this
Doing this
afternoon.
afternoon.
No, Elise was at mine today.
Right.
So we'll do it probably at some point early next week, so we can get the session underway, or possibly tomorrow morning. Shane can never have too much D&D.
Okay.
So
Make sure that you set up like I don't know, if you go to Twitch, you'll see how I set it up. Basically, just roll 20 and the camera, so we can have you know, we can see each other's sessions.
yeah, I'm sure like Hoko would like to watch it. He generally is interested in these kind of things, and maybe Tom as well.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as
Make sure.
you don't mind being streamed to probably no one older, but you know it's there for.
Well, we do have
I don't mind.
someone watching, or is that two,
Probably.
or is that
It
one
could
of
be
you?
Shane. No, it's not me. I'm not in it.
It's called
Give it a show.
Tweedy Clan. Hello, Tweedy
Oh, no,
Clan.
that's not Shane.
There you go.
Hello.
We could be famous.
Thanks for watching.
But no, it's cool because the Humblewood people, I can always put it out and be like, "We're playing this," and then they might be like, "Thanks for playing our game," and give us all the free stuff. Who knows?
Nice.
Free dice.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'll let you know when we're going to pick it back up, which will hopefully be this. Yeah, well, it should be this week coming, where you get to meet the others. I feel bad. The others' intro session is a little more tame than this. I didn't quite have as
This one
exciting
is
idea.
this one is very hectic. Like Phil's whole family is gone. Like Podge is gone.
I feel
To be
He's
fair,
not-
that your backstory was that. I just made it happen in the session. Nothing
I
happened.
did. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Bye bye guys.
Wait, Lucas, do
later,
you want to
guys.
hold on for 10 minutes? I can just tell you this thing.
Sure.
You got 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll just stop streaming though.
Cheers, Alder.
Bye.
Did really well as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fun
That
character.
was great.
Good, I enjoyed it. Nice to meet you, Lucas. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Bye bye.
Bye.